Hi guys, welcome back to Crypto Ahoy. And I know it's already been a while. I've been pretty much stuck with a lot of work. I do many things, and so I just wanted to I just had to separate a time because I want to share with you guys some really good news that I believe. If you've been watching all my previous videos regarding Bone Token and Shibarium, you guys know that I'm very bullish about this. And finally, we got something good that's happening, and I believe this right here, if it goes through, is really going to increase the value of Bone and Shibarium. And why I think, and again, this is not financial advice, but why I think you should invest or perhaps look into, kind of do a little bit more research and check out Bone Token, and that it can really has a lot of potential, and why you might even invest on it. And if you're new to this channel, you can help support it by simply subscribing. It's completely free. And also activate the notification bell so you'll be notified on all my future videos regarding Shiba Inu, Bone Token, Shibarium, news and information like these. If you want to stay in the loop, simply just subscribe, and that's all. That will also help out this channel. So without any further ado, let's jump right in. Bone Token and Shibarium, it's in a bit of a tight spot, or you could say it's in a little, bit of a pickle at this moment. Simply because there's a vote going on. And to kind of understand, to have an idea, let me just go straight over here so you guys can see. So there's a vote here that's saying either to halt minting Bone at 230 million. So once it hits that amount, there's going to be no more minting of Bone Token, or to allow over minting 20 million. So if you haven't been following Bone, I'm going to give a little bit of a backstory here, and so you guys can be more familiarized in case you haven't been following much about it, because I know that Shiba Inu, it's pretty much on the spotlight. It gets most of the attention, right? And compared to Bone Token, well, not so much. But so we can kind of see here of what's going on. So we can simply see here that Bone Token has a total amount of 250 million, right? So that's the total amount that it can mint. It's a deflationary token, right? But right now, the current where we're at right now, based on this blog post by Shiba Swap, is that we are at 225 million, right? So we right now have 5 million before we hit 230 million, right? And so they're pretty much proposing, what should we do? And this is where the community, and if you're holding a T-Bone, you'll be able to vote. That's pretty much where we're like in this fork, right? Meaning like there's two paths where to go. So we can decide either to cap, once it hits 230 million, to stop minting. So that way we can use the other 20 million for the validators, which I'll get into in just a bit. Or should we overmint, right? So let me kind of go back here to where it is. So again, out of the 250 million, we are at 225 million, right? So they're pretty much asking, the community, what should we do, guys? Should we, once we hit 230 million, just put a cap because we need the other 20 million for the validators, for the behaviors of the validators? Or should we over mint, meaning instead of being 250, now it's going to be 270, 20 million over, because the goal is we need 20 million for the validators, right? So that's pretty much the whole point of the vote. Either we go over the 250 million, or we keep it at 250 million, but pretty much a portion of that, the remaining 20 million, we're going to use it for the validators, meaning ending at 230 million. Sorry guys, there's been a lot of numbers just being thrown around, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to make that clear. But that's pretty much where we're at. And perhaps you might be asking yourself, what is a validator and a delegator, or what is that? And so Shiba Inu, right, is different than let's say compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Well, Ethereum is a little bit more complex, but the point is that there's proof of stake, and then there's proof of work, right? So what happens is that a validator has to pretty much verify the transactions, and every time they do that, they get rewarded. And the way how they do that is by doing this, which is called a proof of stake. And I'll have this blog link down below in the description in case you guys want to check it out and read it. It's not that long, but it does have a lot of information here, so you guys can kind of go through. But I just want to pinpoint, or better, you just highlight the main information here. So a validator, what it does is that it ensures, right, that all the transactions are verified. Every time you send, any type of cryptocurrency, but let's say Shiba Inu, on the, it has to be written down on the blockchain. So since there's no one minting it, right, how is it going to register it or record it? So the way how that would work would be through, proof of stake. And there's pros and cons, but one of the pros about proof of stake is that you don't have to use a lot of energy, meaning you don't have to use a lot of electricity like you do with Ethereum. And that's something they're trying to, improve on, and they're working on, but that's pretty much the deal here. And at a validator, and another thing also, a validator, you pretty much need a certain amount of crypto that you need to stake, because there's risk, meaning that as a validator, you have to make sure that your system is running, you have internet, Wi-Fi, you're up to date, everything is running pretty much. Because if you don't, then you can get a fine, or you get penalized. And whatever you staked on there, you run the risk of losing, or your whatever income, passive income, or whatever the interest is going to go down, or you might not be elected, to solve certain mathematical puzzles, to be, because now you're starting to have a bad record. So it's more in depth. I'm just barely scratching the surface, guys, on this. I just want you to have an idea of what it is. But pretty much validators are like high stake, proof of stake type of stuff. It's not your regular staking that you do at a PancakeSwap or anything like that. It's or at crypto.com. It's not that type of staking. It's like real, it's a large amount, because you're actually verifying, those transactions. And a delegator is pretty much someone who has to, you choose someone to do that type of work. So for example, a delegator, maybe they don't have a lot of tokens to be their own validator, or maybe they choose not to, but they want to still get some, have some profit. They want to invest their tokens or crypto, right? So they have to choose a validator, right? And so the more delegators the validator has, the more weight it has, then there's more rewards. But there's like I always say, there's always risk. So a delegator has to be very diligent in choosing the right validators. So because if the validator doesn't do its work, then the delegator also gets in trouble. So that's just very, very simplified way of explaining this, but that's pretty much the idea of more or less how this works. And this is one of the best parts, guys, is that it says here that the validators gets rewarded in bone for their work. So this is, again, is going to bring more importance, in the role in the Shiba Inu ecosystem with Shibarium, is that the bone is going to increase in value. Why? Because now, if you want to become a validator, then most likely you're going to have to, hold bone or T-bone. We'll have to see once we get more information. But that means that they're going to have to, invest, buy more bone. They're going to get rewarded in bone. So that's going to just increase the value in bone overall. So, and again, I always repeat this, but this is not financial advice, and it's always a good idea to do your own research before doing any type of investment, really. But you should look into perhaps investing into Bone token. Right now, it's just like 40 cents, I think. We can quickly take a look to see at the price. So right now it's at 47. It has been increasing a little bit since the news came out. But yeah, so there is opportunity here. Now, how soon this is going to happen, or how fast this is going to take, we really don't know. But I believe this is a great opportunity to take a look into. And so here are the two options they are offering. And before we kind of read through here, guys, if you find this video to be helpful and informative, really help out the channel by giving it a like. Also subscribe if you haven't yet already, and activate that bell so you'll be notified on all my future videos. All right, so right here it says the community will be voting on, here are the two options, either to stop bone farms when they reach 230 million. All right, remember the total amount of minting that there's ever going to be on bone is 250 million, right? That's not taking into account any burns, but you know, just very simple. That's the max, right? But once it reaches 230 million, they're gonna stop, you know, the farming. No more minting. That's gonna just stop right there. That's one option, right? And save the remaining 20 million. Remember, we got to do a little bit of math. So from 250 minus 230, that's gonna give us 200, you know, 20 million, I'm sorry, for the validators. And option B is to overmint, adding on top of the 250 another 20 million bone more, increasing the total cap from 250 to 270. So to distribute them over the future. So those are the two options, right? And how, if you want to vote, and right here explains how, and also when the period of time this is going to go on in the DAO. It says that it's going to happen in the Doggy DAO process, can only be made with T-bone. So you need to stake bone to get T-bone, which is the staked form of bone. Yeah. And so it says, we completely understand the value, the amazing support for Shiba Inu as a decentralized community. And where is it going to take place? Well, it's going to take in the Doggy DAO, in the Doggy DAO snapshot. There's a link, you could take a look, and it's already live. So it started on June 19th, and it's gonna go for 7 days. So when we go here, so it's gonna probably end like around Saturday night or Sunday morning. But we already have it over here, and we look at here that most of the people are saying to halt to bone, and I agree with that as well. I think that it's better for them to halt to bone at 230 million, and the remaining 20 million that gets minted, you know, can be used for validators, because that way we're going to keep this as a deflationary. Otherwise, if we mint over it, it's going to already cause a little bit of, I wouldn't say skepticism or people doubting or FUD or anything like that, but it kind of goes against the belief of a DeFi, right? Because it's supposed to be, well, in this case, you know, a deflationary token. But if you're adding more, then now, you know, that kind of goes against it. It becomes more like inflationary because you can add more tokens, and we don't want that, right? So most of the people holding Bone and Shiba Inu were always thinking about burning, you know, reducing the cap. So we're trying to see what's the best way, or the market cap here, to reduce it. So I think that by this approach, and like it says here in the title, that Shiba Inu DAO is overwhelmingly against minting Bone for Shibarium. And I couldn't agree more. I think that's the best approach they can go about this. And I totally agree. So let me know what you guys think about this. If you guys think that it's best for Shiba Inu or Shibarium for Bone token, to, you know, specifically Bone token, to just not increase the market cap, just keep it at 250. But out of those 250 million, 230 to be the total minting, for farming, and the remaining 20 million used for validators. If you guys agree, let me know in the comment section down below. Or if you guys are okay, just add another 250 million on top. Add another 20 million on top of the 250 million, to bring it a total of 270 million. If you guys agree with that, also let me know in the comment section down below. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and remember to buy, hodl, sell, repeat. Till the next one, peace.